Hello, it's Gameweek 24. We've got a few hours to go before the deadline, so I thought I'd do another one of these team reveal videos. Not going to promise I'd do it every week, but given the injuries that came rolling in on BlackBox on Wednesday, I thought there's so much indecision in that show. I thought it was kind of worthwhile doing a team reveal again, just to show you what I've done in the end and how I reached my decision. If you did watch or listen to the show, you'd have probably picked up that I was looking at Raheem Sterling as a potential transfer and captaincy, and I really wanted to do it. It would be an attacking move, and I do think Sterling could well be the top point scorer in Gameweek 24, but as you see here, I have backed out of that regrettably. I feel sad about it because I do want to play aggressively. I'm quite an aggressive FPL manager, but actually looking at the logic and looking at the impact doing two transfers this week would have on my future plans, I just couldn't do it. I mean, in the end, James Justin's injury was a contributing factor as well. So I've gone Justin out, Tarkowski in to double on the Burnley defence with Pope and Tarkowski. That was a pretty straightforward move, I think, with Justin out for the season with a cruciate knee ligament injury. I couldn't hold on to him. I've got Calvert-Lewin, who's a doubt for the first game as well against Fulham. He may well come back for the City game. I've benched him because I want him for double game week 26, so I'm holding on to him. Playing four at the back, the two Burnley defenders, Soufal, and the two City defenders. And again, it was also the injury situation with Diaz and Rodri that kind of convinced me to go without Sterling. I think with Rodri back in training, it sounds like he's going to play, and that would mean Gundogan in his usual role as the raiding midfielder, getting into the box, getting on the end of things like he has done for 7 or 8 game weeks now. And that's the thing, like, I've captained Gundogan because I think even if I brought in Sterling, there's every chance Gundogan could even outscore Sterling again. He's been the top scoring FPL asset for weeks. And so therefore there is a danger as well that I could have made the Sterling move, taken one of my City defenders out, probably Diaz, and captained a player who's going to score less than Gundogan anyway. And so that, coupled with the fact that Justin was going to be a player I couldn't hold on to for very long, meant I made the move, made the more conservative move, if you like. I'm going to go into a bit more behind that logic because obviously it's down to the double game weeks we've got coming up. So I'm going to bring Ben Crellin's graphic up, which if you watch podcasts or if you watch streams the last 3 or 4 weeks, you've seen this a lot, I imagine, on BlackBox as well as other shows. So we don't know things yet. I mean, game week 26, we know that's going to be a bumper double game week, and the fixtures shaded in brown are the likely fixtures to drop in there. There's multiple configurations of those even. Ben feels we're going to know the fixtures and how they shake up before the deadline on 25. So we're not going to know them now. You're not going to know in the next few hours. It'll be before 25, we hope. So again, rolling one of my transfers and going into 25 with 2 gives me an advantage of being able to react to that. We're going to know exactly what's going to drop into 26, and we'll probably know a bit about 27, 28 and 29 as well, the blanks in 29 that you see here. So without that information, I wanted to leave myself the 2 transfers, so that was another factor. But to kind of examine it a bit more, I went into Excel myself and eat your heart out, Ben, and come up with a plan with my existing team and with the Sterling option to see how going Sterling and spending 2 transfers this week would affect my plans going forward. And so with the move I've made just into Tarkowski, you can see that the double game week players are shaded in green for this week. I've got 5 players with 2 fixtures this week, Gundogan captain, and then 25 I'm going to move probably Soufal to Dallas to give myself 3 leads, and also go Antonio to Kane, probably bring Kane in early for the West Ham fixture. And then that means I go into 26 with 10 double game weekers. Of course, injuries and suspensions could happen, but at the moment that's the optimistic view. So 10 double game weekers for 26. Playing one of the Leeds players, I'll put Bamford in for now, but it could well be Rafinha. And then 27, 28, it's all about preparing for the blanks in 29. And with the transfers I've got in this chart here, Calvert-Lewin to Watkins, Tarkowski to Dunk, and then rolling a transfer and making 2 in 29, which at the moment I'm looking at that thinking, well, it could be Johnston to Sanchez for the Brighton keeper, Fernandes to Grealish, or it could be Gundogan to Grealish, depending on the money situation. That would give me, without any hits, 10 active players for 29. So that there'll be managers playing their free hits. So I wanted to make sure that I've got enough in 29 to go up against the free hit managers. And I'll have Kane captain. We'll probably be Kane or Son will be the popular captain, I imagine, when that Villa Spurs fixture drops into 29. So all in all, the plan with the transfer I've made this week, Justin Tarkowski, gives me a good setup for 26, 10 players there and 10 in 29 without any hits. And then I wildcard in 30 to clear out the deadwood for the run-in. So that's a good plan. I'm very happy with that. I looked at the same plan with the 2 transfers that I'd need to make to bring in Sterling. So that would be one of my City defenders out, Diaz to Tarkowski this time, and Son to Sterling. It had to be Son. I couldn't do Souček or Rafinha to Sterling because then I wouldn't have the money for Kane going into 25 or 26. So it would have to be Son that goes, which obviously is another big factor. That would give me, obviously I'd have 5 double game week players here for 24. I could still get Dallas in for Justin in 25, so Justin cleared out then. Then 26, I would be down to 9 double game week players rather than the 10. And even more significantly, looking ahead to 29, I'd only be able to take 8 active players into that without spending money on hits. Without spending point hits on transfers. So all in all, by making the Sterling transfer this week, it looks as though I'd weaken my position for 26 and weaken my position for 29 quite significantly, probably by a margin that would mean any gain from Sterling wouldn't pay for itself. So even if Sterling did outscore Gundogan, got a mega haul over these 2 games, I think that a great deal of those points would have to be spent, or certainly a significant amount would have to be spent to get my team back to where it could be if I don't make that transfer for 26 and 29. So overall, that was it. There were other managers thinking the same tactic as me, same strategy. I know Adam Hopcroft on Green Arrow was discussing it, thinking exactly the same as me, arguing that with Fergie, and it was Fergie who presented a very logical argument, and it was that argument that I've extrapolated here and shown you in this kind of plan towards 29, and it's difficult to argue for it. And like I said at the top of the vid, if Gundogan outscores Sterling, which is entirely possible, then it would be a bad move anyway. So that's it. That's where I am. I regret it. I do think Sterling's got every chance of being explosive this game week and reward those who are brave enough to move for him, or those who are holding him going into 24. So good luck to those managers, and you're going to have probably a more exciting time watching City matches than I am with the 2 defenders. But I think in the end I'm happy with my decision, and that's what counts. I mean, the output I can't control, but the decision-making process I can. That's what BlackBox is all about, and I'm happy that I've done enough planning to be sure that I've checked every avenue to make sure it's not a wrong decision. Why did I go Tarkowski over me? That was more difficult to decide. Me probably will be the more popular choice. He's got more points. He gets bonus points or BPS at a faster rate. But I do think if Burnley keep a clean sheet, it'll be Pope who gets bonus points anyway, the majority of them. And Tarkowski does tend to get more touches in the box, more of a presence in the box. And if you watch BlackBox on Wednesday, you would have heard that and seen that I looked at expected goals conceded data from set plays, and Palace were bottom of that. So they'd conceded more expected goals from set plays than any other team in the Premier League. And for that reason, even though Burnley's successful corner rate was 3rd lowest, I'm going one of the centre-backs for that potential goal threat against Palace in particular. And in the end, with touches in the box more prominent for Tarkowski, that's who I've gone with. So a tedious, boring transfer, but one I think that's the right move for me. Obviously your team's going to be set up differently, and hopefully you're in a situation where you can attack it and still be set up well for 26 and 29. But just look at a similar plan to mine and make sure that it doesn't impact too much on your future plans, because it does matter. And like I say, there's no reason why Cancelo, Diaz and Gundogan can't come out with more points than Sterling in this game week, even though we feel that he's the more exciting prospect. Anyway, that's me for Game Week 24. I'll be back with as in midweek for BlackBox as usual. All I have to say is subscribe and like if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in midweek. Good luck for Game Week 24.